Hey FlOSSTUBE, welcome to Creative Whim Studio. Hey guys, I hope you had a wonderful Easter and I hope you're having some beautiful weather. We have had perfect spring weather, cold one day, rainy the next, 80 degrees the next, windy as all get out, a little bit more rain. I mean, it's spring in Michigan. It's supposed to be 78 this Saturday and then 58 Sunday. That is Michigan spring right there. 58 is going to feel like winter. Isn't that funny how that is? So I missed last week. I was going to record on Saturday like I normally do, but it was Holy Saturday and I wasn't in the mood. Let's just put it that way. And it's just, well, okay. So COVID hit our home basically on Kyle's birthday, which was the 30th of March, which was a Tuesday. He said he started feeling kind of funny. He was out with his friends having dinner and drinks someplace, and he said he was sunburnt from working outside. And you know how when you're sunburnt you kind of get the chills because your body's like radiating this heat, and he thought it was just that. But the later it got, the more weird he felt. So he went home. The next day was Wednesday, and he was sick all day. Felt horrible. He had the chills, headache, fever. That would be chills. Oh, body aches. So he didn't know if it was the flu or if it was COVID. So the next day, he was going to get tested, which was Thursday. So we obviously didn't have the grandkids. He did the rapid test. It came back positive. Oops. It came back positive. So we've been in quarantine since then. So Easter was off. I haven't seen the grandkids. Supposed to have them yesterday. Didn't have them yesterday either. So I'm really jonesing for those little babies. For Easter Sunday, though, it was a beautiful day. Worked out in the yard. I've been working out as well on this new Beachbody program. I joined the Beachbody on demand so that I can watch it online, and I have access to a bunch of different workouts. I own a bunch of their workouts already, but I thought for the price, I thought it was a really good deal, and knowing I'm paying this quarterly payment will make me use it more. So anyway, I started a new one. It's called Bar Blend or something like that. It's a combination of like Pilates, ballet, and I'm telling you what, it's kicking my butt. It's really a really difficult program, and it's like for 8 weeks, and if I can get to the end of the 8 weeks and actually do half of the stuff that they do in this thing, I'll be proud of myself. But anyways, what I was getting at is it kind of hurts my back. I have a little bit of a sway back. My back isn't flat, like my lower back kind of dips. Anyways, the moves in this workout program are just making my lower back really sore. And I thought, well, I'm probably using muscles I haven't used in a long time. And then Sunday, it was so beautiful out. We worked out in the yard and it just felt so good, pulling weeds and cutting down old stuff, from last fall that I didn't do. So my back has been really sensitive. Why am I telling you all that? I guess because I was talking about Sunday working out there and I got on my back. Okay. I got on my back. No, I got on the subject of my back. So for Easter, I said, well, the whole family's not getting together. That's fine. But, and let me just tell you, Kyle has been so amazing. He has been so precautious. He was literally scared to death of giving COVID to Kevin and I. So he basically would, for the first probably 5 days or more, he wouldn't even come in the house. Like, he'd get up in the morning. So he stayed in his bedroom. If he was in the house, he was in his bedroom. And then across the hall from his bedroom is a bathroom. That we said, that's your bathroom. We're not going in there. So he had that. And we have our own bathroom. Then we have a bathroom in the basement. So everyone was fine. But he was, thank goodness it was been nice out. It's been warm out. So he has been working on his band, like doing all kinds of outdoor things. And for like dinner, I would make him a plate and I would text him, hey, your plate's ready. He'd come in, I'd give it to him like on a paper plate so he could throw it away afterwards in a plastic fork. And he would come in and get it. And he'd either, if he was coming out of his room, he'd go back in his room and eat it. Or if he was outside, he'd come in and get it and eat it outside. And he was just avoiding each other. And when he came in, he had a mask on. I mean, he wasn't allowed. I shouldn't say he wasn't allowed, but he didn't want to even go in the kitchen. So I just would bring him food if he needed it. And we were very careful. So Kevin and I have steered clear of it. We didn't have any symptoms whatsoever. So he will hopefully be able to go to work like next Tuesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday. And then next Thursday, we get the grandkids again. So life is going to get back to normal for us, which I'm thrilled about. And then I was talking about Easter Sunday. So Easter Sunday, I said, well, I'm still making ham. I'm still making, because we had everything for the dinner. But I said, I don't feel like peeling potatoes because Kevin and I were sitting out on the deck and it was just a glorious day. It wasn't windy. It was like 75 and sunny, and just spring is awesome because there's no mosquitoes yet. The flies and the bees, and they're just kind of waking up. So you don't have all those bugs flying around. So we just chilled on the deck, him and I, for quite a while because we worked our butts off in the yard. So we're just chilling. I felt bad for Ryan. So Bree, she went, with the kids. Eric had to work. Bree went with the kids to Eric's parents' house. So, she wasn't alone. But I was worried about Ryan. I just don't want anyone to be alone on the holidays, any holiday. So we decided to invite him over and just say, listen, we're sitting outside. We'll sit outside away from each other. Go in, get your food, or I'll bring your food to you, however. So anyways, at least we had the boys there. We sat outside and just kept our distance and got to visit and spend some time with them. So that was nice. So that's kind of what we've been doing. I've been working very, very diligently on my fabric line. I did 2 huge pieces for it. And there was a lot of detail and a lot of painting in these pieces. And I remember it just like flashbacks of when I used to design fabric before. It's intense work because you not only have these bigger pieces, but then you have to pull things from those pieces and create coordinating fabrics, like little patterns and little prints. That's the stage I'm in now. Everything's been scanned, and now I'm in Photoshop pulling things and making repeat patterns and things like that. So still working on that. I had some things come up that I had to take care of during the week, the last couple of weeks, that caught me right off guard and required my attention immediately. So I'll explain more of that later, but this is where we're at. This is what's been going on. Announcements, the list of retiring designs. I'm doing that after I do this video. As it's uploading, that's what I'm going to work on. So hopefully I'll have the PDF of all the retiring patterns, punch needle and cross stitch. And again, when I say retiring, they're retiring from a physical pattern. So you'll have to download it through my Etsy shop if it's something that you want. So that's still happening. I had some pretty exciting things come up in the past couple weeks. I was invited by Riley Blake Designs to participate in the Garden of Quilts, which is held in September in Lehi, Utah, at the, I forget the name of the place. Anyway, I'll insert it. But I'm going to also have a link below so that you can look at the last one they had, which was 2019. They didn't have it last year. Everyone knows why. Anyways, I was invited to teach a painting class, a 3-hour painting class, and then a 3-hour needlework class. And so when they said that, I'm like, what kind of needlework? And I said, and no, I think they said, well, because they know what I do. And they said, well, you know, whatever you're most comfortable with, but also what is going to be most interesting for people. Okay, well, that's 2 different answers. I'm most comfortable teaching punch needle, but people are more interested in cross stitch than punch needle. So I decided to go with cross stitch, and there was a couple of reasons why. Well, the first one is because people would be more interested in it. It seems that quilters and cross stitchers unite. Like, it's amazing to me to see this. I'm witnessing this in different Flosstube videos. Like, not everyone, but a lot of people that cross stitch did quilting first, or they did cross stitch years ago and then got into quilting and now are bringing cross stitch back into it. So it makes more sense. Also, the sampler that my first fabric line was designed around, called For the Love of Nature. So the sampler is, let me back up. The Garden of Quilts is in September. My first fabric line will be shipping in October. So I want to promote that fabric line, correct? So my watercolor class is going to be a painting of that, a part of that sampler. I mean, we can't do the whole painting, I don't think, in 3 hours, because I'm assuming most people that come in have no painting experience. So I wanted it to be fun for them, and I didn't want them to feel rushed. So basically the house and the deer with the little squirrel nose to nose. I mean, that's the cutest part of the sampler anyways. So we're going to do a painting of that. And then for the cross stitch class, I'm going to give them that sampler with the linen and the threads, and I'm going to give them the needle, and it's going to be a kit basically. So here I am. I'm going to teach cross stitch, y'all, and I have never even finished a cross stitch in my life. So the pressure is on. Until I get this fabric line finished, I really have not been doing any stitching at all. Once I get that done, which will be this coming week, my plan is to stitch 1 hour a day, no matter what. I don't care if I am so tired I can't even see. I'm going to say, sit your butt down and cross stitch for an hour. I'm also going to teach myself through videos of how to do the sewing method, because I want to be able to show people how to do both of those. And I told them, I said, my cross stitch class will be for beginners. It's going to be like the lowest level of beginner possible, because I'm a beginner. And I'm going to be very upfront with people. Also, I thought it would be interesting to do a talk before we get into the class. And I'm doing a lot of research on cross stitch, the history of it. I want to explain. I want the class to be educational, and also something that hopefully when they go home they can finish. And it's, let me back up. When they go home, they can finish the sampler, eventually can work on it. And thank goodness that sampler happened to be stitched on 32 count linen. And I was like, yes, because I don't want to teach someone on a higher count than that. I think it, could turn them off. Oh yeah, and hopefully, when they get home, I'm going to tell them all about Flosstube. And so the 20 people, if hopefully my class fills up to 20 people, that's the max, they said. So hopefully we'll make 20 new cross stitchers, that will join the Flosstube community and watch Flosstube and join their love of quilts with cross stitch. So that's more about what it's about. It's not me up there being an authority on cross stitch, because y'all know I'm not. So I've got my work cut out for me. That's in September. In July is the retreat at the Silver Needle, and it's my first time being a guest designer. Man, I'm just going in with both feet on stuff this year. And I know, man, after all this is said and done, in October, I'm going to the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat as a person just going. And it'll be awesome because I'll have all the other things behind me, and it will just be a time for me to go and go, and just relax with friends. So it's going to be, in this summer, it's going to go like that because time goes like that anyways. And May, we've got 3 weddings. And then June, I'm gone to Tennessee for a week. Kristen's coming up here for a week. The end of June, my mom and Jerry are coming. July, I have the Silver Needle Retreat. August, I have a friend's weekend, but that's okay. But I'll be preparing in August for the September Garden of Quilts. And yeah, this is the girl that can't say no. But not only that, these are all fun things. It's going to help me grow because I don't like being the center of attention. I do not like public speaking, but these classes are small. The Silver Needle Retreat, however, we're talking 150 people. And I've done it before. I've actually, I think I've shared that story with you guys before that when I worked with Books Are Fun, I had to do a talk to all their sales reps. And we're talking, I don't know, I would say probably 500 people. I don't know. There was a huge, tons of people there. I don't know how many people were there, and I did that twice with them at 2 different times. In the first year, it was great. The first year they did it, they had it set up so that it was like an Oprah show, and you came on the show and you sat down in a comfortable chair and you talked with somebody and they asked you questions, and it was so natural. And I can do that all day long because I'm looking at the person. I'm not looking out at a ton of people. And the second time I went and did that down in Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah, there were even more people there that time. And I had to use a teleprompter for the first time. And it went horrible. And I will never use a teleprompter ever again in my life. I would rather have notes. I'd rather have notes and be looking down and have bullet points. Because if I look at a bullet point and then I can talk about it and look at another bullet point and talk about it, where this was word for word script, and I was trying not to read it word for word, and then it's scrolling, so it's moving and you kind of lose your place. Well, I lost my place, and then they scrolled too far, or they didn't scroll far enough, and I'm looking at the thing going, I look like a deer in the headlights. I'm I don't even know where I'm at in this thing. And I was too nervous at that point. I had become so reliant on this stupid teleprompter that I couldn't even talk off the cuff. And never again will that happen. I'll never use a teleprompter again. So moving along, I don't know if I can announce this. So I'm going to ask her if I can announce it, and I'll tell you guys which retreat I have been invited to for 2022 in the spring. But I don't want to say without getting permission, but yeah, I've been invited to be a guest designer at another retreat in the spring of 2022. So that's super exciting. Also, yes, I sent out 7 new charts to model stitchers 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago because they are getting them this week. I was talking about this, I think it was during What You Paint Wednesday, but as stuff comes in, when the model stitcher is done stitching it and they send it back to me, when I get 3 or 4 of them within a couple weeks and I haven't sent any more new stuff out, I get kind of panicky feeling because I think I have a lot of things designed, but pulling the floss and pulling the linen and then finding someone that wants to stitch it and then cutting the linen and making sure all the colors work right, and it's a huge process. And so I'll have things designed but not ready to go. Anyways, I took a day and just knocked 7 of them out because I'm stuff's coming in, stuff's not going out. I got to keep that ball rolling. All right, so I'm going to insert a picture of my new Patreon designs. I just want to say about let me just tell you about Patreon. I never intend for my Patreon to make anyone feel excluded that maybe can't afford a monthly payment or something like that. That's not what it's about. Patreon for me is about having a deeper connection with the people that want that. Not everybody wants that. So I do live video with them. There's a lot of behind the scenes things. I give them sneak peeks of what I'm working on that I don't show anywhere else. There's just a lot that goes on in there that I can't share with the public, number one. And then the charts, well, it's in the Q&A, so I'll just skip over it because I'm going to talk about it now. Somebody asked me in Instagram, there was a big discussion in Instagram about this whole Patreon thing, and but somebody asked if the Patreon patterns will ever be released and available to all. Yes, they will. I wasn't going to do that at first because I thought, well, I want Patreon to be an exclusive thing for people, you know, because they're paying for it. But they were all so gracious. I just have to tell you, my patrons are so gracious, and they were like, no, these are nice designs and they have legs. They should have more life to them. So I thought about it. And this is what we decided to do. I have a mouse in my pocket, you know, we decided that after a year, so it'll be a year in October that I've had a Patreon page. So Nashville 2022, I'm coming out with a book. If you've ever bought one of my samplers in the book form, it'll be like that. I don't know if it's going to have the wire on it or not. The place that publishes my stuff, they have different book choices. So it will have in there, I think all but 6. I can't remember. I've talked about this before on my Flosstube. But it will have the majority of the patterns that are for Patreon. They'll be in book form. And then as a perk for the patrons, also, when they get theirs fully finished, they send me a photo. And I'm not going to include all the photos because otherwise the book's going to be $50, you know. And I just will be doing like a drawing out of the hat of who, you know. So let's say one of the designs, I get 3 people that send me their fully finished photo. And then I'll put their hats in a drawing. I'll put their hats in a drawing. I'll put their names in a hat and do a drawing. And that person's picture will get put in the book. That way I can show things fully finished because I know people like that a lot better than just like what I did for my cross-stitch book for the Celebrate book, where it's just the charts in there so you can't see color. Although I do have a link where you can go and look at some finished, you know, color pieces of them. Anyways, rambling on, I'm sorry guys, but I just wanted to address that. So those patterns will be available eventually, but you know, I guess that's all. I want to say about that. For those of you that would like to join CW Live and forgot about it or whatever, what have you, I am keeping it open. We started it last Tuesday, but I'm keeping it open until this next Monday. So what is today? Today's the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. You have and through next Monday, the 12th, to join it if you want to. Because I had someone just join it a couple of days ago. You know, she thought she'd missed the deadline, and so I extended it. So if you're interested, I have a link below where you can join us. I have 11 new people joining, and some are from the Flosstube stitching world, and I'm just elated about that. It's so wonderful. And then I have my OGs that have been with me since I started CW Live, and it's just such a fun community. You know, while I'm painting, we're just chit-chatting, and it's a total blast. Last announcement. Okay, guys, Floss Toss, Rachel and Sue. Love them, love their videos. If you're not following them, you need to search them out in Flosstube and follow them. They're doing a punch along using my For You punch needle pattern. And Rachel she had kits available on her website, but they're all sold out. Doesn't mean you can't join them. So their hashtag on all social media is hashtag FTPAL, which means floss toss, punch along, okay? If you want to join that punch along and have fun with them, then you can still get the pattern. I'll have a link in the description box below that you can just click easily to my Etsy shop to get the For You pattern. And it'll have the piece of weaver's cloth in it, but you'll have to trace it on there. And then you'll have to buy your threads. So there you go. That's it for announcements. Q&A. Chris asked, her comment was, I cannot have contentment until I know more about the Halloween sneak peek at the beginning of your videos. I need that. What is it? It is going to be one of my May releases. It's called Silhouettes Quaker. So I shared my Silhouettes artwork back in one of my videos when I showed all of my Halloween artwork. So the Silhouette witches, what I did is I took some of the witches, and anyway, I made a Quaker, and it's cute, and it's not real big, and it's a real fun little whimsical stitch. So that is coming out in May. Melissa, what if you put your older PDFs in your store? That's exactly what I'm doing. Yep, all the PDFs that I'm retiring from physical patterns will be in my Etsy shop as PDFs. Lori from Instagram. Oh, she was the one that asked about the Patreon designs, if they'll ever be available to all. So yes, I answered that. Okay, whips. Like I said, I have no time to stitch, but I have been doing, well, I've got a punch needle started and it's for the, you guys, deadlines. Punch Needle Primitive Stitches Magazine, Summer Edition. I'm doing a punch needle. Guess when it's due, y'all? Tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm going to be punching a lot tonight and a lot Saturday. I have to have it done and to her Monday. She gave everyone a few days extra because she knows how busy we all are. Thank goodness. Deb, you are the best. I love you. I love you. I love you. So I'm doing an Americana punch needle. Then for the fall when I'm doing punch needle, and then Christmas is going to be a cross stitch. That's what you're getting from me this year. And I'm just honored to be in all of the issues that, that Deb puts out every year. I'm just so blessed to be a part of it. So thank you, Deb. All right. Whips for my art, CW Live. This might look familiar to you because I just showed you my Patreon April charts. This is one of the charts. So the whole background is going to be this lighter color. We just ran out of time, so everyone has homework, including me. I have to, before next Tuesday, get the rest of this rust color painted. But it's going to be nice and grungy. We're going to antique it, and it's just going to be so much fun when it's done. So that's my whip. And then finishes. Perfect Love. Okay, well, it's not, I shouldn't say it's finished really, because I still want to put crackle on it. I want it to look old, like an old painting, and then I've got to paint the sides of it. Actually, I'm probably going to end up framing this piece because it's just thin canvas, and I think it really deserves a gold frame on it, to be honest. If you remember, I've been working on this in Witch Paint Wednesday for a few weeks now, and this past week I got all the painting where I want it, and then I did the sanding. So like I said, I just have to do the crackle on it. So I'm going to turn my camera so I can do some close-ups on this for you. If you remember correctly, we don't use the missals anymore at church because of COVID. Everything is printed. So it has, every week we get a little leaflet, and it has all of the songs, the prayers, the readings, and it'll have some pictures in it, black and white pictures. And we get those every Sunday, and you're supposed to either take them home or throw them away after Mass, whatever. Well, I've been collecting those since we've been going back to church, Kevin's and mine, so I have 2 of each. And I used those papers to cover this canvas. I decoupaged the papers on this canvas, okay? Knowing that there was an image of Mary in the 2 corners, and up here's a nativity scene, which I sanded and sanded and sanded, and I could not get that to show. But I think I finally see, I think that's Mary holding baby Jesus, but I don't know. I need to sand it a little bit more to see. So I did a lot of using that layering block. Thank you, Kristen, my soul sister. She bought this, well, Chris Williams, she works for Plaid. Plaid does Ceram Coat, Mod Podge, all that. Well, anyway, Chris is in the CW Live class. She's an amazing painter, and she does classes for Plaid. Anyway, she mentioned this layering block. And during the class, CW Live, Kristen happened to be on that one, and Kristen ordered them, and I had it like in a few days. I'm like, girl. So thank you, Kristen, so much. But you basically dip this in paint, and you rub it on your painting, and that's what gives it this kind of a look. So I did it with white paint, I did it with rusty brown paint, and then I did it with a shiny gold paint. You can see that that's metallic paint there. Oh yeah, right there you can see it. So then I did the sanding. So you can see where Mary's face is revealed under the paint there. And then if you come over here, where is it? Right there. Then you can see another picture of Mary revealed in the paint. But I mean, if you're far away, you're not, it's just, that's what I love about this painting so much, is that there's all these things being revealed. And then I love over here, it says Immaculate. Here it says God has chosen me. God has chosen me. Here is the Nicene Creed. Here it says your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. Here it says forever God is faithful, forever God is strong. So there's all these, you know, hymns and prayers and things showing through. Also, to me, this has a lot of symbolism in it. Look at her. Look at her glorious halo. It's done with metallic paint as well as baby Jesus's halo. And you can just see how it shines in the light. It's so cool. This grungy look is exactly what I wanted. It makes it look old. And to me, it symbolizes the fact that our lives are a little bit messy. Some lives are more messy than others, but also the world is messy. Look at this, symbolizes the mess in our lives, and it symbolizes the mess in the world. But then you look at her face, and she's so calm and beautiful and peaceful. And look at baby Jesus is just happy and calm and peaceful. So it's like we can find peace in them, in this messy life and messy world. So just a lot of really neat, unique things about this painting that I absolutely love. So I want to get a gold frame for this because I want it to shimmer like their halos. So anyways, okay, we're back. And then we have 3 finishes from y'all, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much. So first we have Marliss Ellberg, and she did oh, it's funny. Okay, let me read her comment. She says, "Hi Teresa, when I saw this behind you on one of your floss tubes, I dropped what I was stitching to do it. It was so much fun. Even though I miscounted the bottom row and couldn't squeeze the last flower in, instead of ripping it out, I added my initials and the date. I have 5 more of your samplers to start. Love your style." Thank you so much, Marliss. So she's talking about, oh, let me get out of the way here. Right there. She's talking about that. Oh, my bird. And what I love is that I love that. Don't rip things out. Adapt. Make it work, you know, instead of, oh, can you imagine ripping out a border? No, can't do that. So yeah, I love that she, you know, adapted it and made it her own. And that's very cool. So thank you, Marliss. All right. Delania Watson, she said, I thought you would like to see my Happy Easter finish. I fused the fabrics together and punched through both layers. Thank you for your continued inspiration. I'm looking forward to meeting you in July at the Silver Needle Summer event. Yay! I'm so excited. Isn't that cute, that little Happy Easter? She sent this to me March 30th, so she had it done before Easter, which is super cool. That is from my Punch Needle book, celebration book. And then last but not least, oh, I forgot to thank you. Thank you, Delana. I hope I'm saying that right. Delania. Tara Guernsey, she didn't send this to me, but she posted this in several of the Punch Needle groups, Facebook groups, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Can I share it? And she said yes. So thank you, Tara. This is Let Freedom Ring. She used 6 strands throughout the whole piece. She used DMC for the motifs and then a Valdani for the background. She hand stitched a red pom around the edge and then mounted it onto the horn book. The board she painted herself to make it look old. Oh, I just love and adore that. Thank you so much, Tara, for letting me share that with everyone. So if you have one of my designs fully finished and you would like me to share it on my FlOSSTUBE video, all you have to do is email me at teresacolgate3@gmail.com and I will share that with everyone. I love seeing everyone's finishes, especially fully finished. They don't all have to be fully finished, but I like fully finished because it gives everyone else an idea of how they can finish theirs. And aren't we all looking for new ideas? Haul. So I had haul last time I did a video and completely forgot about it. But I got a haul from Stitchery Express. This order was placed so long ago, I had forgotten all about it. She sent me everything that she could in the order, I don't know, months ago. But this was on back order, and it finally came. Brethren Blue. Look at how pretty. So pretty. So that came in, which is awesome. Okay. Let me do this. And then she was so sweet and she sent me samples of their fabric. Shoot, I was hoping it had the name of it on there, but basically you can tell that's like a honeycomb pattern. The only thing is I don't know what count that is or what kind of, I think she does even weave. And I love this shiplap look. I know Priscilla used that for something. So that's super cool. And then this looks like old barnwood. Be cool for a farm one. And then this one, I think they are all even weave because this one says Americana Stars and it says 32 even weave. So, and they all look like they're the same size. This one is absolutely amazing. So pretty. I love how faded it is. Looks like it's been out in the weather. So that's very cool. Thank you so much. Then so as a designer, when you use linen and floss from companies, if you send them the pattern, like the pattern list of supplies, they will replace it for you. So I finally took care of that and I got all my Weeks Dye Works in. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to put this on my floss tree that I have for Weeks Dye Works because I'm out of pretty much everything and I didn't want to place an order because I order from them as well, but I wanted to wait until I got everything in and then I can see what I need to order. Look at all these beautiful earth tones. Are you kidding me? Oh, so pretty. Just beautiful. So see, no, that's what I mean, like, as far as like being busy and having things to do. in needing an assistant because I'm going to spend, you know, quite a bit of time putting all these on the floss tree. There's just, you know, uploading things to Etsy. I haven't put any originals on there in a long, long time, and I'm getting to where I don't have any room to put any of my originals because my studio is not that stinking big, and I don't have any more room on the walls. Look at that gorgeous color. I don't have any more room on the walls, so I need to sell a lot of originals, and who has time to do all this stuff? And then, thanks to Liz Matthews, I was totally enabled by her last video. Oh my gosh. She was talking about, what is it called? The Paper Minty Studio. She was showing stickers from the Paper Minty Studio. And I fell in love, absolutely just fell in love with what she was showing. So I immediately went, I think I actually ordered, because I watched Flosstube on my TV. So if my phone's near me, or if I'm on my laptop when I'm watching it, that's when I usually make comments on videos. And a lot of times I don't comment because it's just on my TV playing, and I might not be where I have my phone and stuff. But I remember this time I had my phone right there, and I immediately commented on her video, and I immediately went and ordered stickers because I love the color palette. Does it have her name on here anywhere? No, it just says Paper Minty Studio, so I don't know what the lady's name is, the artist. So I'll just show you what I got. These will be so fun for art journaling. I absolutely love the colors in this one. And then these stars, these soft colors for the stars, so pretty. These are like little washi tape. Like I could put a picture in my journal and then just use that on the corners to hold it down. So cute. And then, oh, look at those moths. Y'all know I love butterflies and moths. As long as they're outside. And then this one is just, to me, a piece of art the way it is. I love the black background. Look at how beautiful. Mushrooms, stars on the mushrooms. I mean, how cute. That moth is beautiful. So yeah, go check her out. I'll have a link below to her Etsy shop as well. I know Liz had, I don't know if it's still available or not, but when Liz showed it on her video, oh, and I forgot to show you this washi tape. It's black, it has flowers and like the moon on it and stuff. There was, I don't know if it's still available at checkout, and you could get 10% off your order. So I don't know if that's still working or not. It might have only been available for a week. That's my haul. And then look what I got in the mail. I got my storyboard from Riley Blake Designs, guys. So I'm just going to show you quickly. If you watch Fat Quarter Shop's quilting channel, she did show this on her quilting one, not on her Flosstube video. So here's the storyboard. So what they do is like they show it with a green background, and these two, oh no, it's not. That's not the same one. Oh, I got to do this. Oh my Lord. Okay. This is too big. But it'll show it on the green background. This is the same one shown on a gray background, and then this is another one shown on a light color background. So these are the same patterns shown on different colors. And then we have this with the burgundy background. Yeah, this is just too hard to show. It's really not making a whole lot of sense the way I was showing it before, so I'm just going to show you it this way. I got a little check in there. All the way down to here is my designs. This is a little flower, a plaid, a check. I don't know if you can see that, but that's like I took one of the moths and I made a little pattern on it. But then all these down here, these are not mine, but these are prints they already have in their lineup that coordinate with this line. Oh, you can see it better over here. So then they have, these are the same fabrics that I just showed you, but in different background colors. So you can see the moth one much better there. Just a cute little moth print. And then the flower print and a plaid in a lighter color. And then over here, this one has, yeah, it's got a dark green background, a light color background with the trees, which I love that one. And then I love this one, the black with the gray color moths, and a nice black check, a plaid, and then the flowers again. And again, these are all just ones they have already in their lineup. This is the repeating stripe that I created. This right here, which doesn't show all of it, this right here, but then they show it here, like how it will be printed. So it's got the alphabet from the sampler. I don't know how much of this you can really see. You see it? So that's the repeating stripe. These two here are the panels. So they got a light color panel and then they have a black background panel. And again, this is based on a sampler. Basically, if you take this from here down off, and then this little heart border here, that's the sampler. And then they're going to offer this kit. So this is the panel, and then there's the checkerboard, the moth, checkerboard, and then the repeating stripe here with more checkerboard on the outer edge. But they're going to offer this kit so you'll get all the fabrics included. And then look at this quilt that they designed. It's called All Squared Up. Look at how beautiful that is. And it's got, oh, all my fabrics in there. It's so pretty, and I'm so beyond grateful. I don't know if I ever shared. Oh, and then on the back, it's got my little picture there. But they asked me to write a little bit about the line and what was my inspiration. So I'll read it to you. It says, I'm a Michigan girl who loves to spend time outdoors. A favorite pastime is going on walks through the woods with my husband and pup Athena. Our property is surrounded by fields, farmland, and wooded areas. We also have many ponds, creeks, and a county park with a large river nearby, a perfect invitation for wildlife. I created a cross-stitch sampler in 2020, which was the inspiration for this fabric line. My love of nature shines through with the dark earthy colors of the home, hearts, and critters, making this line warm and inviting. Oh, yay! I'm so excited. So I don't think I ever shared how this whole thing came about with Riley Blake Designs. If you've watched all my videos, at one point I was showing some of my quilts. At one point I was showing you my fabric lines. And Colleen from Stitching with the Sisterlies, my sweet sister, I feel like I've never met her ever, but I feel like I know her. Like I feel like we've been friends forever. She's in CW Live. She always joins us for Witch Paint Wednesday. You know, we text back and forth. I mean, like it. I just love her and Cheryl. I just love them. Well, anyway, Colleen, she's so funny. Unbeknownst to me, she got a hold of Kimberly Jolly of Fat Quarter Shop. And she said, you need to go check out this video of Teresa. She's showing her fabric. She needs to get back into designing fabric. I don't know exactly how the conversation went, but that's in my head. And so then Kimberly saw it and she's like, yeah. So Kimberly is, and I don't know if she said that either, but Kimberly is friends and knows Riley Blake Designs, and she got a hold of them. And then I don't know, I'm assuming that they went and looked at my video. I don't know if they did or not, but then they contacted me, and interestingly enough, the lady that contacted me originally, she used to own or work for a quilt shop. So she is familiar with my past designs, you know, what I used to design years ago. So I thought that was interesting. So then we set up a time that we could all chat. It was, excuse me, the owner of Riley Blake's Designs, and then the design coordinator, and then myself. We did a call and worked out the kinks. And one of the things that really hit home for me was the creative license that they give me is phenomenal. They basically say, will you design a Halloween line? They don't say, can you sketch, or, you know, can you work out some sketches and we can choose from it? No, they give you total creative license. They're very trusting. It's just amazing. And I'm just so grateful. And then the other thing that was important to me is color. When I originally first started designing fabric, I worked with South Sea Imports, and it was such a beautiful relationship. The lady that I worked with closely there, she had the mannerisms and the voice of my Aunt Jeanette, which is my mom's sister. But she lives in Virginia, so I don't get to see her much anymore, but I just love that woman. Anyways, the person I worked with designing and everything at South Sea Imports reminded me so much of her, and we became very close. I mean, we went out and spent time at their home. I mean, I would go out there every year, twice a year maybe, but at least every year, and we would plan out the whole entire year's worth of designs or lines and everything. But anyways, long story short, unfortunately, I ended up leaving that company. I don't really want to get into why, but it was unfortunate, let's just say that. Then I went with another company. It didn't sit right with me, and then I went to another company, and again, it just didn't sit right with me. We didn't make that connection, and also I like darker primitive colors, a more muted color tone, and they were making my fabric with bright colors. Like a bright purple. That's not me. So it was very important to me to find a company that, you know, after I left the third fabric company, to find a company. So I think I approached Moda at one point. I know I did. I don't know if I did or if I still had an agent at that point, but they said that my artwork at that time was too similar to someone that they already licensed. So they said no, and at that point, they were like my go-to company that I wanted to work with. And I had never heard, because this is 10 or more years ago. So I don't even think Riley Blake's Designs was a thing yet. Anyways, let me just say, I couldn't be more happy. I have found my home again, designing fabric, and found a company that believes in me, my work, and my color palette. And I'm grateful beyond words. So thank you so much, Colleen, and thank you, Kimberly, and thank you, Riley Blake Designs, for believing in me. So moving on. Let's see. Okay. I've been wanting to show these dog portraits now for the past 2 videos, but I'm not going to because I'm already an hour into this. I was very chatty because I had 2 weeks to yap about, and I'm gonna wait and hold that off again, put a little arrow for next week because I don't want this to go too long. Let's get into giveaway. The giveaway is a pattern of your choice. You had to say the word contentment somewhere in your comment, so I will insert the YouTube random comment picker here. All right, let's see who's this week's winner. Da 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 da. Dorjeff 5 links. I do not have the artistic talent to paint, but get great contentment in watching you. It is very relaxing. So thank you so much. And congratulations, Dorjeff 5 links. I think that's probably like Dorothy and Jeff, and they have 5 links cats. Is that possible? Is that the thing? I don't know. What does that mean? So anyways, if you could please email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com. Please let me know your real name and your address and which pattern you would like me to send to you, and I'll get that out right away. So this week we are done with the angel cards. I have heard back from the card company that makes those angel cards, and I proposed the idea of doing a cross-stitch card deck. I doubt it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen because they said it doesn't go with like their company's theme of mystic, you know, angels, like it doesn't go with their theme in their customer base. So more than likely it's not going to happen. So it may be something that Kevin and I can do down the road, but I'm too busy right now to figure any of that out. But you never know. You never know. So if you really want a cross-stitch card deck, then say some prayers and send some good juju my way, and maybe it'll happen. So this week, I have an extra Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine for the spring, and that's what I'm giving away. So if you already have this, I still encourage you to join the drawing because you can always gift it to a friend yourself. So I think that would be super cool. And what I want you to say in order to get into the drawing is, you have to say, I want you to tell me what is your favorite thing about spring. And I am going to look for the word spring in your comment. That's going to be your key word. So anyway, just tell me what your favorite thing is about spring. My favorite thing about spring is that it's warm enough to be outside, but there's no bugs really to annoy you yet. The renewal of the trees and the grass getting greener and my flowers popping up. Just, I love it. I love it. I'm not a winter girl. I am a spring, fall girl. I like summer too. I just don't like it too awful hot. But that's it, guys. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all your support and your wonderful comments. Keep them coming. And again, don't forget that I do a blog post after my FlOSSTUBE videos, so that if you want to see close-up pictures or you want to see more information about something, if I talk about a recipe, it'll be in there, which I didn't this week, but anyways, just saying. So, because I'm doing all that extra work on my blog, and if people aren't reading it, then I'm going to have to say, I don't need to do this extra work. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here, and don't forget, create every day. Bye!